Years had passed since Anne Shirley first arrived at Green Gables. Now she was a beloved teacher in Avonlea, her heart as full of dreams as ever. Meanwhile, Gilbert Blythe pursued his own noble dream, studying to become a doctor far away. Anne poured her whole heart into her students, inspiring them with stories and encouraging their own vivid imaginations. She loved seeing the light of understanding in their eyes. Gilbert, too, was dedicated, his days filled with textbooks and challenging lessons. He worked tirelessly, driven by a deep desire to help people, though he often thought of Avonlea and a certain red-haired girl. Though their paths diverged, letters crossed the miles between them, filled with news of their lives and dreams. Sometimes, Gilbert would return to Avonlea for a brief visit, and their friendship, though changing, remained a comforting constant. Meanwhile, Anne's dearest friend, Diana Barry, was happily settled in her own home, now Diana Wright, embracing the joys of married life and looking forward to her own little family. At Green Gables, Marilla Cuthbert watched Anne with quiet pride. Her stern exterior had softened over the years, replaced by a deep affection for the young woman Anne had become. Avonlea remained a haven of peace and friendship. During a lively community picnic, Anne and Gilbert found themselves effortlessly falling into old patterns, laughing and sharing stories as if no time had passed. They spoke of their aspirations, their challenges, and the quiet moments of their lives. In these shared conversations, they discovered a deeper understanding of each other's hearts and minds. As Anne returned home, she found herself replaying their conversations, a new warmth blossoming in her chest. She realized her feelings for Gilbert had deepened beyond friendship into something truly special. Miles away, Gilbert, too, felt a shift. He understood that Anne wasn't just his dearest friend. She was the missing piece to his future, the person he longed to share his life with. Diana, ever observant, noticed the change in Anne. "You know, Anne," she said gently, "some things are just meant to be. Sometimes the best things are right in front of us, if we only dare to reach for them." One crisp autumn afternoon, Gilbert returned to Avonlea. He sought out Anne, not for a casual chat, but for a walk through the autumn woods, their conversation taking on a new, unspoken intimacy. They spoke of their dreams, not just of careers, but of homes and families. Gilbert admired Anne's passionate spirit, and Anne saw in Gilbert not just intelligence, but boundless kindness and strength. The tranquil beauty of Avonlea seemed to echo the peace and budding joy in their hearts. The familiar landscape, so often the setting for their childhood adventures, now felt like the perfect canvas for a new chapter. That evening, Gilbert sent a small note to Anne, asking her to meet him by their old wishing well at dusk. Anne's heart fluttered with a mixture of nervousness and exhilarating hope. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they met. Gilbert took Anne's hands, his gaze earnest and unwavering. "Anne," he began, "my dearest Anne, I've loved you for so long. Will you be my wife?" Tears welled in Anne's eyes, tears of pure joy and relief. The unspoken longing in her heart found its voice. "Oh, Gilbert," she whispered, "yes, 1,000 times yes, I love you too." Under the beautiful Avonlea sunset, their hands clasped, their hearts intertwined, Anne and Gilbert finally promised their future to each other, a future filled with shared dreams, enduring love, and the quiet magic of Green Gables. And so, Anne and Gilbert taught us that true love often grows from the deepest friendships, patiently waiting for the perfect moment. With kindness, dedication, and an open heart, all our dreams, even the most romantic ones, can blossom into the most beautiful realities.